Good evening and welcome to another episode of the Silver Screen Show. I'm Elenia and I'm here once again with Abu. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm once again filling in for our friend who...
Our absent friend.
For the third week in a row, that's the third strike, you know, man. So if he's watching...
Yeah, that's not such a subtle dig.
You're on a notice period, mate.
You're on disciplinary now. Okay, so before we go into the films, I had a little bit of news on the radio. Driving to work this morning, had hilarious news that Tom Cruise has been in Essex filming the new Mission Impossible 6 movie.
Can't wait for that.
I mean, you can't wait for that. I can wait for that. But apparently, he got in touch with the mayor and everything and said how beautiful that area of Essex was that they were filming. Hilarious, I know.
What part of Essex?
It was like Brentwood or something.
Okay.
And apparently he got turned away from a coffee shop because they were filming Towie.
Oh, I can see, why that would be.
I can see the prestige,
Who is Tom Cruise?
Exactly. Who is he? What has he even done?
What do you mean, did you go in the Costa and I want a frappuccino? They're like, oh, sorry, we're not working till.
No, someone wrote in and said that they'd served him in the Costa, so it must have been some other shop where they were like, excuse me.
There are other coffee shops available, by the way.
Nah. We don't just shop at Costa. There are several
Tom Cruise
others.
apparently does. So he got turned down.
Yeah, apparently.
Okay, I mean that's the last time he goes back to Essex. So
yeah,
well
exactly.
Done.
All right, so let's go straight into our reviews. We've got three films to cover, and then we're just going to do a kind of roundup of
2 films and one just lousy piece of art students.
Let's call it a mixed bag. So we're going to start with Blade Runner 2049. Yes. So all aboard the reboot train. But sequel.
I think it's actually the one reboot this summer which actually has hit a good note.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the original a little while ago. I put a review up on our blog. Check it out.
Retro rewind.
Retro review. And I thought it was great. I mean, it's one of the few sequels that not only builds on the original, doesn't destroy it in the process.
Yeah, okay, eBay watch.
Yeah.
And Jumanji.
Jumanji. We see you coming. We see that. So
let's go into a little background of the film.
A little bit of background, yeah. So if we go right back to the original Blade Runner, it came out in 1982, and we've got Harrison Ford, who is called a Blade Runner, and these are a part of the police force who hunt down and retire replicants, which basically means kill the rogue ones.
They take the eyes.
Yeah, and replicants are bioengineered humans. And the Nexus 6 models that were in the original, they have a 4-year lifespan. And that was the main theme. They were upset, they only lived for 3 or 4 years.
They've been given humanity, but they never just go away.
And then, it goes out, and that's where that incredible line, the losing memories like tears in the rain and things like that. The
whole, what is the soul and all that.
Yeah, and just wanting to live and love and all this kind of thing, because they are humans, but they're just engineered to be that bit better. So now we have Nexus 8 models who have an extended lifespan. You don't know how long.
This movie, right?
Which is this movie, yeah. And you had the Tyrell Company in the original, which went under and is now replaced with Neander Wallace, played by Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
He's a weird guy now.
Yeah,
he's just a weird guy.
So intense. Like, why are you so intense in every role?
Yeah, he makes up a few of the scenes that are very dialogue heavy. Like you have to really be listening to get what happens, which is exactly the same as the stuff that was in the first one. So we have now Ryan Gosling, who is a replicant.
That's made clear from the beginning.
Very, very clear. And he is a Blade Runner hunting down other replicants that have gone rogue. And
the irony of him like killing his own species.
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah,
it doesn't seem to bother him. But then it kind of starts to, as he's got quite a good character arc, I think.
Which is what this film delves into, isn't it? So
yeah.
His journey from becoming a soulless machine into something a bit more meaningful, essentially.
So he has to investigate, basically he finds a body and a child has been born from a replicant, which no one thought could happen. And then...
Basically, whose baby is he? Who's the kid?
Who's the kid? What happened to the kid? And people want to find the child for different reasons. We won't go too much into.
It's big news because if these replicants can now reproduce, that's like a whole new ball game now. It will change everything, the dynamics of society.
Exactly.
So that's why it's such a big thing in the movie for them.
Yeah, it's almost like their messiah for the other replicants. The
first like free
the replicant freedom movement are the replicants.
Terrorists.
Shouldn't be saying that. So they wanna be free. They don't want to be slaves anymore, obviously, because they're basically human. So before I go into my opinion, let's go over to you.
I suppose it's good because I've not seen the original ones. I've been trying to look for just get some time to watch. Just haven't had a chance. It's not online anyways, so I thought, you know what, I'll watch it with a neutral perspective because I know you have. Yeah. So you can give the full, complete view. So I think what I'll start with is the film is absolutely gorgeous. Yes. It's beautiful. It's like it was directed Denis Villeneuve. Yeah, but I mean, he's made Sicario and Arrival. And Arrival especially was such a majestic film to look at. And I think here, it's just simply gorgeous. Like all the scenery, all the camera angles, the colors, it's so vivid. That stands out straight from the beginning. Like, wow, just looking at it. Yeah, the really big pans of the cities and the different landscapes are unbelievable. But that's from like a superficial point of view. That's just like looking at the film. But luckily, it's not all just on face value because I'm not fully up to speed with the whole lore. But the film does enough to kind of give you an idea of what's happening in the past. It drops hints. It kind of feeds it to you. Yeah, there's a blurb as well at the beginning. Yeah, it's not like in Ghost in a Shell where it's like explains literally to you what a ghost in the show means, like in your face, like just what's the word, condescendingly. Here they give you little information and you can kind of understand it as it goes along. So what I like about it, I love Ryan Reynolds. One of the Ryans. one of those Ryans, is good looking actor. I think Ryan Gosling was great in this role. I think he does well in these like moody, broody role. Yeah. Like he basically captured his drive self. Half of it is him just staring at the camera in the middle distance at something and being a bit more annoyed at something else. Yeah, he plays a good contrast between the kind of dead behind the eyes replicant and then moving more into the human like he gains a human side by the end of it. I think you definitely feel like there are some revelations that happen in the story that really affects him and you really feel that because like you could easily feel nothing for the guy because he's a robot. But he puts like emotional impact in his character. And there are bits when he finds out something isn't true, what he believed in, and he really destroys it. And you can sense, wow, that really affected the guy, from what he started off as a generic, just a killbot essentially, wasn't it? He is a person, he is a human. Yeah. It's not a robot. But he does have that kind of robotic, like completely compliant attitude at the beginning. Yeah. And then as he developed, he learns more about memories, and that's a really important thing. The whole what is a soul and what does it mean to have a soul is a big part of this film. And I think if I go back on Ghost in a Shell, which came out earlier in the year, I think that's how Ghost in a Shell should have been done. Is how it was done here. Yeah. Because they have similar themes and ethos. It's about machines and do they deserve to have a soul? What is it like? So I think if Ghost in a Shell was done like this, it would have been so much more better. Yeah. Instead of what we did get, which was just totally bland. Yeah. So I was watching the film, if they did Ghost in a Shell just like this, it would have been amazing. But they just didn't. They didn't get the right director, they didn't get the right image in mind. So this is what Ghost in a Shell should have been, but this worked just as well, I think. Yeah. And it's got me interested to watch the previous one now. I need to watch the original. Yeah, you were saying you want to actually delve into. Yeah, I can't make a full judgment on this, like by saying I didn't get bits of the storyline because obviously I won't. Yeah. Because there are bits I need to fill in myself, and I think once I watch the original, maybe this will be even better. Yeah. Than what I think. So I'll throw over to you, seeing as you. So I think what you'd notice if you've seen the original and if you go back and watch it is it looks the same. Yeah. I mean, obviously it's a different director, but it's a different director. But you've still got Ridley Scott on as one of the producers, so he has some influence. But he said that he didn't want to do it, but he really, really wanted Denis to do it, and he directly asked to do it. You can tell why, and it looks very similar. Obviously, the technology and it looks crisper and sharper and all this kind of stuff. But it looks like, so it's Los Angeles in 2019 in the original and 2049 here. And in the new one, it is what I imagined the 2019 version to look like 30 years later. Yeah. That was what really just blew my mind, because it was what you'd think
30 years later, that's what that city is going to look like. They keep the whole lights, all of the projections and stuff for the adverts.
The details is like
the detail is really great.
That's why it's tough getting a new director to handle something you took a lot of time in doing.
Yeah.
So it's a big ask, you know, like you see one of your treasured properties and you give it to someone else.
And I thought the score was fantastic.
Yeah,
the score in the original is very kind of saxy and synthy because it's characterized as a neo-noir sci-fi.
Neo-noir,
which is a very strange combination, but it worked. And it's the same here. You've got a very heavily synthy to give it the futuristic feel, and it feels like an 80s imagination of a futuristic film still, even though it's been made now.
It's still got that continuity to it, rather than feeling it's two separate things made like 30 years apart.
It's taken the themes and the characters and the score and the visuals and built on it, developed it, and taken it to a whole new level as well, without completely butchering it, like most sequels and reboots do. And you have these long scenes with Ryan Gosling where he's looking out and he's contemplating things, but then you have intertwined with those scenes very dialogue heavy.
He's very dialogue heavy. I mean, that is
in a couple of scenes the dialogue is quite heavy, and if you're not paying attention it's quite difficult to follow, and that was how it was before as well. You have these conversations between people, and you have to listen because it goes quite deep.
Basically, you need to watch your subtitles to make sure you don't miss anything. Like any one sentence that you might miss.
Yeah, you're still exploring humanity and the will to survive, but now you're also exploring the idea of dying for a greater purpose as well, for a greater idea.
Rather than just being thrown on the scrap heap after you're done.
Yeah. I mean, it's slow paced.
I was going to say it's very slow.
It's very long.
It's 2 hours 40.
It's 2 hours 40. It's slow.
Some scenes like just right.
And it's like
walking.
He is just walking around in
I don't just see this for 5 minutes. Like you can show me him walking to a door, but literally, when he gets to Las Vegas to see Deckard, it's like it takes forever. Like, we know what's going to happen now. He's going to go see him. You don't just show me 10 minutes of him.
True.
Which I think.
But it's good because even though those scenes are really long,
it's
building a story, and it keeps you intrigued. It doesn't need these huge long action sequences and stuff.
You need to be aware that it is very slow paced. You need to know that going in, like it is gonna boil up slowly. Don't be expecting it to be going fast.
I wouldn't say it was overly exciting, but I did find myself kind of tensed up and sat a little bit forward in my chair. The drama works well. At the bits where it did get exciting and it did have fight scenes and things like that, and I was like, oh my god, are they going to die? Like you actually didn't know.
It's not really an action film anyway. It's more of a thriller, but
it's more of a sort of detective thriller.
Exactly.
More like the original.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. Yeah. It's Leto is not a massively huge character, and he's kind of creepy and weird.
Oh, you mean the Joker?
The Joker.
Pretty much he's the Joker again.
Yeah. But I really liked Love. Love was ruthless. The replicant who worked.
I tried to find him. I thought I saw the previous film before, but just
I didn't write the name down. It's like Anna something.
Yeah, she was. Anna was the operating system.
Joy.
Yeah. So she was good. The bodyguard. She was a nice foil to.
Yeah, she was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Well, Kay needed a foil in it. Leto wasn't really a fighter. He was more of a pulling the strings. So you needed someone who can actually confront him and be an equal to him.
Yeah.
And that worked real well for the entire film. And she's really ruthless.
She is just cutthroat. It's great. And I actually really enjoyed Joy. So Joy is like an operating system, kind of like Her. Did you ever watch that?
Scarlett Johansson and
yeah.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah. And kind of like that, where she's around the house and
like a housekeeper,
like a housekeeper
slash girlfriend slash.
Yeah, like if just for lonely people, it's a artificial companion, but she's just a projection, and he develops this relationship with her, and he starts to realize, it's not real. But I thought that was really beautiful.
The way that whole art ends is amazing. I think it really
and it ends. It's really sad.
Yeah, the way it's done, because you wonder, where is this art? You could have gone some weird ways.
You kind of think, oh, this is a bit weird.
Yeah,
you don't need this. It's a bit unnecessary.
Yeah, and kind of it's a bit out of sync in the film. But once the whole arc goes around, comes full circle, you're like, wow,
it's really,
that actually worked really well. Yeah,
really beautiful.
Yeah. So
and Kay, played by Gosling, I think he had a really good arc. He really played it well. He played the contrast between the character developments really well. And Ford is just as combative and stubborn as we know and love.
It's a bit strange because like
it's Harrison Ford being Harrison Ford,
and they still fight. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, he was kind of like that in the original as well. He was very quick.
It's just it did bug me. Like, he's clearly like, I don't want to hurt you. I'm not here to fight you.
Yeah.
He's still, you know what? I don't care. It's a really prolonged fight scene for no reason.
I think that actually what a smart thing that they did was they dropped the narrative. So in the original, you had Harrison Ford narrating over the top, like a film noir. I think it was probably a good idea to drop that. I don't think it would have gone over as well if they did it now.
I haven't seen the first one, so I can't really say how.
Well, I mean,
so
it's
that
just
was how the first one was done. Is from his like kind of overview, like he was narrating.
Yeah, so he'd be walking around and he'd be saying like, I didn't know what to think after meeting Rachel and Tyrell, and all that kind of stuff. And
LA noir.
It was full on, but it worked then. But I don't know if it would have worked now with the film.
What's Archer's spin-off of the Spy? What's it called? The latest Archer series?
Oh, Dreamland.
Yeah, that's literally like that.
It's like
with
that.
The trench coat and the hat, looking at the blinds.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, let's
let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
So what would be your short sort of 3 or 4
Mine
months?
is incomplete. I'm gonna be like gonna watch the original. Then I can make a full proper judgment. I love this song, but I think I need to watch the first one to
do your research.
Yeah, I need to do my reconnaissance to fully enjoy this movie. But I think from a standalone, it's great but slow. I think it's very important to emphasize the pacing of the movie, and I think people need to be aware before they go in.
To be fair though, I didn't really realise that it was that long.
Yeah.
So it's one of those ones where if you're engaged and you're intrigued and you're actually kept. If you keep involved in what's going on, you don't really know how long it is. I would say a beautiful sequel, finally. After 35 years.
Baywatch wasn't good.
I will end you right now. No, we're not gonna go into Baywatch.
Into crap remakes.
I thought it was funny, but I think it's great that this stands up both as a sequel and as a standalone movie. So I think that was good that we had that two different background going into it.
Yeah, because I think it's useful because not everyone's going to be watching. The film's old and it's quite hard to find nowadays. Unless you're a really big fan of the genre, you're not really going to stumble across it. Yeah. So I hope it does well in the box office.
I mean, it's one of those sci-fi movies that set up sci-fi.
It is like the story, like in Sequels, that probably, because I looked at what came out first, Ghost in the Shell or this came in the early 80s. Ghost in the Shell was like early 90s. So I'm pretty sure this has some level of effect on Ghost in the Shell, which in turn.
And then you've got like iRobot and and the Matrix and all this other stuff.
So it is like
with human engineering and AI and all this kind of delving into what is humanity and soul and things like that.
It's done in a way quickly before we want it doesn't really bait a sequel. You can really just stop here if you wanted to. If you wanted to, you could have just say we're done. It doesn't have to do a new universe of Blade Runner. Put up another 5 films.
You can see that they could.
They could
as well.
Yeah, obviously there's. But
I think that was what my dad said when it came out. He was like, obviously, "So when's the next one coming out?"
But some films are trying to get the Mummy. You got very over. We're going to set another 5 films already. Yeah. Whereas this one is like we'll go at our own pace. If you want to end it here, we could. If you want to make another film, the possibilities are there. I would say actually before we move on, I came out. I didn't know what to think when I first came out today. Well, did I just sit and
I literally I had to sit and contemplate it and go, actually, that was great.
Yeah, a film with this level of depth, you can't judge straight away. Like some movies, you can tell. Great,
you can walk out and be like, yeah, that was awesome, but I didn't really know how I felt until I'd sat there and thought about it and go, no, that was beautiful, that was majestic, that was deep.
So that is certainly now.
So the good part, and now we move on to Flatliners, which what did it do?
Oh, the puns, man, the puns. When you make me feel flatline, man, you're just giving the guys, just give them ammo. Yeah. So, I'll do this, I guess, because...
Yeah, you've seen it, I will...
So this is a film about a bunch of medical students. So this is based off an original, actually came out in the early 90s. I've not watched it, also called Flatliners. So what these medical students do, who aren't very smart, to be honest, with medical students, they find out that if you kill yourself, then resuscitate yourself afterwards, you kind of unlock some, powers or abilities. So the theme is they want to find out what happens when you die. So they're like, if you knock ourselves out, then scan our brains, we can see what happens. So that's the setup. And they find out that, not everything is what it seems after they do all of them do this. You think killing yourself does have consequences. I mean,
what?
Yeah. So this film has obviously, people have seen the reviews, it was like a 0% for a couple of weeks, went up to 5, back to 2,
yeah,
up to
it was
4.
like 3, 2,
It's
4.
just not done well at all, and I can see
like
why.
Emoji Movie.
Yeah, but even Emoji Movie had an angle. This film really has no idea what it is. So the trailer makes it look like some weird like medical drama kind of thing. Then it could be a thriller, it could be, you know, a mystery, like, you know, but then it suddenly becomes a horror movie with these cliches of like them being stalked, or, you know, seeing reflections of people behind you, just all generic horror cliches come out. But then it also becomes some weird like college rave kind of film, like American Pie. They'll go randomly raving and clubbing and they'll hook up with each other. And I'm like, what? Where is this film going?
What are you?
Are you a horror movie? Are you a drama? Are you a serious film? Are you like just a weird college, medical school kind of?
Yeah, because I thought that the trailer kind of looked like a thriller.
Yeah, that's
and then by the end of the trailer, they were getting sort of followed by
it becomes very horror
stuff, and it was just horror. And I'm like, what is?
So what do I have? I got a list of bad stuff to say. Some of the list. The casting is just wrong. I mean, Ellen Page is a great actress, but for this, I think all of them they're all in their late 20s and 30s.
Ellen Page, Diego Luna, Nina Dobrev.
In his late 30s. Lena Dobrev's in her late 20s. James Norton in his 30s.
Yeah.
And those will be playing young medical students, so straight away you just lose that sense of disbelief. It's just like, you could have got cast who's a bit younger, or in that age bracket at least. I mean, to get someone who's 40 then try and pay them
and not have to pay as much.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're a talented lot of actors, and, you know, to get in a film this bad shows you something really.
Yeah. And you've even got like Kiefer Sutherland in there as well.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't get Kevin Bacon back.
To be honest, like, his art goes nowhere. So Kiefer Sutherland, he's in the original. So you'd think, okay, he's in this one. Maybe they're gonna do some swerve, or it's been him all along, or something, anything. No, he's the student's teacher.
So they had a great plot device.
Yeah,
and
I mean, what's the plot is gonna happen? He's in the original. He's around here. He for a moment he tease it. Like, are you guys up for anything? And they don't say anything. They goes, okay, and that's the last you see of him. I think, well, you had that one twist.
That is a waste.
Yeah, well, why do you get Kiefer Sutherland? He's got anyone to play that role. Exactly. He's going to do nothing in it.
It's just one of those like tip of the hat to anyone who knows.
Yeah, but no one knows. That's the thing. It's not really a throw-out. Everyone's like, wait, this movie came out in the early 90s. No one remembers that. Like, it's not even a throw-out in a sense, you know. Also, it never really answers the question of what happens when you die, which is a bit hilarious because
that's what they were.
Yeah, so like, you know, Ellen Page suddenly unlocks all her abilities from like unconsciously, like, you know, she heard the piano back in the days, her relative played, she can now play it, you know.
So now she's an X-Men again.
It's like she can unlock her, you know, previous memories, like, you know, her grandma's recipes for baking and stuff like that. Okay, so like, okay, fair enough. Her one is
useful.
Yeah, her one is like she unlocks these abilities from her past. Okay, cool. But then suddenly when Nina Dobrev's character does it, she suddenly gets very good at driving, and she's like, you know, like Baby Driver and stuff. Like, where did that come from? I thought this made you like knowledgeable or like aware of your past, not have like super abilities which you have no. There's nowhere in the film to say she could do that, but she's drifting around the corners and speeding and stuff. Then the other guy becomes super intelligent. Like, he knows every medical term in the book. He knows every drug. He's upstaging all the teachers at a medical school. And like, it's so inconsistent. It's just like it doesn't really say what this thing does. So I'm like, I'm thinking that, you never explained why, the whole angle of the film. So it's just a waste of time. I'm like, what happens when you die? Nothing. But apparently the horror side does kick in. So he's like, I don't want to spoil it, but the horror angle they use, even they don't even play through with that. Like that doesn't. Like they do this whole horror thing. They see he sees a girl in the dark, all the cliches. Things drop, the radio flickers, the radio comes on, lights go on and off. But by the end of it, they totally just get rid of it. I'm like, you can't even follow through with like what you want to do. So it's just a mess. I'm thinking, like, if you're gonna go down the horror angle, fair enough, but can't go through with it, man. Like, they don't do anything. Okay, that's just
so it's just kind of pointless.
I only watched it because I thought, you know what, this song's got 4%. I'm intrigued to see if it really is that bad.
I think when a bad film comes out, I'm always like, I want to see it because I want to see if it's hilarious bad or if it's just bad.
When you got the unlimited cut, I need to take a hit every now and again. I'll just do it. I'll do it for the show, man. I'll watch this and I can rant about it if it's any good.
It's like with Jumanji coming out. It's going to be one of those.
It's a game now.
It's a video game now. Again, all aboard the reboot train.
But yes, if I've got to say one good thing, it's probably Ellen Page. Like, she's the most interesting character. She's at least got some arc. The other guy, like, they're very stereotypical. You've got the attractive jock, the insecure student, the attractive one. It's just like, and she's the only one with an actual
any depth
in her character. And you're the one. She's the one you really bother about.
Okay.
And she's not even in it that long, to be honest. Like, you got the best actor, you got the best character, and like she's a side character in the film. So
what's your short review?
Short review. Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
There was
a flatline pun there, but it's just too easy. I'm not going to go down that route and give you a pun about ECGs or heartbeats. Like, it's too easy. Like,
you can make those for yourself.
But I thought I'd just get that off my chest. It's a last minute addition to the show. Let's just talk about it, even for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just so you can wail out a bit.
So let's leave that behind. I mean, we went from an 88% for Blade Runner to like a 3% or 4%.
4%. It doubled from 2, so give it credit.
I'm not going to. So let's go back up and it took a while for us to get here. We kind of forgot about it for some reason.
We got a review on the website, but I think we just never had the chance to all get together.
Talk about it, and we were gonna have another person here talking about it as well, but
he's
clearly not.
Doesn't care.
Another dig for you, Mo. So we are going to go and talk about Victoria and Abdul, finally.
Which came out,
well, came out at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, we all went to screenings for it as well. So
we went to proper pre-screens for it.
So we all actually got to see it properly, and we might have a chat about it,
Yeah.
So I mean, it's going back a while.
Well, I think because I had the blog and the video that I took outside, so we were like, we can leave it for a bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you haven't seen it already, it's about Victoria and her relationship. Queen Victoria. I shouldn't be reminded of this. It's kind of based on true events, or what we think are true events of Queen Victoria.
It does say some of its faults.
Well, I mean, what are you going to be able to write realistically?
I like the disclaimer. It's like based on true story.
Mostly. That was it. Based on true events, mostly.
Fair enough. He knows what it is.
But it's Sharabani Basu wrote a book based on Abdul's diaries that they found in India.
Abdul Karim, I think is the name.
Abdul Karim, and it's how Queen Victoria and him develop a friendship, a relationship. And people in the court don't like it, so they try and get rid of him. And she's not really having any of it because she's
the Queen of England.
She's Queen of England, the United Kingdom, and Empress of India. So she doesn't give a damn what anybody thinks. She's deliberately provocative towards the rest of the court, and they even come up to her and say, "We're leaving if you don't get rid of her." She's like,
"Go on, I dare you to."
Go on then, I dare you. I dare you to quit.
So so if the film follows, it's a friendship, isn't it? It's like a platonic friendship that they develop throughout the thing, and you just see how it all unfolds. So what did I get it from? I thought it's a very funny film, surprisingly.
It does have some really funny bits.
I did not expect it. I knew there'd be a few jokes about Asians and how they think we're all backwards and stuff like that. That chauvinistic, snobby. It's not just that. There's a few other jokes that all come in. And the relationship between Abdul, because he's such a contrast to the court stuff. Like, he's just a smiling, happy-go-lucky, loves everyone.
Like, he gets down and kisses her feet, and they're like, "Why did you do that?" He's like, "I thought she'd like it."
Yeah, or like, he goes, "You should try mango. It's amazing." It's just like, it's like childlike enthusiasm.
Yeah,
he's got no he's very blissful about where he's at. Yeah, he's just.
Well, apparently the actor Ali Faisal, you might know him from Fast and Furious. Actually.
Who? Ali Faisal.
Yeah,
he's in Fast and Furious.
He's in Fast and Furious.
Which one?
I think 6.
That's
maybe?
the only one in London. I don't know. Probably.
I don't know, but apparently he's never been to London, and that is why. And he's never been to England.
Really?
And that's why. So the director
genuine
Stephen,
awe.
That's why Stephen Frears chose him, because he was like, they started filming the beginning in India, and then they brought him to England, and he was like,
all the palaces, all the grow gardens.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, he got to go to all the palaces as well. Yeah. It's like you get to go to Balmoral, Buckingham, and then they even go to Osborne House, which is a former royal residence that never been filmed in before.
Yeah, so he has that childlike enthusiasm.
Exactly.
So his character is amazing, because like he works off because everyone in all Victoria's servants, advisors despise him. Yeah. They don't want him around.
They don't like him because he's Muslim.
Yeah, basically.
And a commoner, basically. Which they didn't realise. They thought they were Hindu at the beginning. They literally referred to them as the Hindus.
It does play to their ignorance.
A massive ignorance. and then
even he's like, the whole of India is Hindu, and they're like, what?
Yeah.
It's like,
but then they also don't like him because of the Muslim revolts at the time as well, against the British rule.
Yeah.
So they don't like him for that reason as well.
Because
and
he's the one guy to blame for all of that.
Well, yeah, exactly. And he's teaching her about the Quran. He's teaching her
Arabic, Urdu. Yeah, they're teaching her everything.
And they don't like that. They're like, she's the head of the Church of England.
She's been corrupted by this guy.
She's head of Church of England, and then like at the end when she says like I accept God in Urdu, and everyone's like, oh, what? And it is a provocative film, and that's what. So I had a Q&A with Stephen for it, and he was saying that he likes doing those kind of films. He does films about gay people and homophobia. He does things with big leading women because that's not a massive thing that everyone else seems to do. I mean, he works with like. He's worked with Judi Dench before. Judi Dench plays Queen Victoria for the second time.
Oscar bait 2 times now.
Yeah.
Did she get an Oscar for first one, or did she get an Oscar for?
I don't know. I think she's got a couple.
Yeah.
And he's also worked with like Helen Mirren and Meryl Streep.
Big names.
Big names. Like I mean, he was the director for Florence Foster Jenkins, which was a massive Oscar competitor a year or 2 ago. So. I thought it was a great movie. Yeah,
it's fantastically charming. I thought it's charming. Just like it's very joyful. Like, obviously, there are dark connotations regarding colonialism and the whole India-England relationship. It doesn't delve into that too much, but that's just the type of movie it is. Yeah. And people did say, it glorifies, the whole rule, but it's like it's not that kind of movie. Yeah. He's never going to explore that part of it. It's all about more the fish out of water kind of.
Yeah, and it's told from a certain perspective where they don't see the effect that colonialism has.
They're blinded.
They're blind. I mean, she doesn't know anything about India.
That's why she's so amazed to know that when he's like teaching about all this stuff. She makes a Darbar room for the culture that she's supposed to be, overlooking.
She's like, I'm empress of this country. I should know stuff about it. And I thought she was great. I thought Ali Faisal was great.
Yeah, Ali Faisal. It's come out of nowhere.
And Eddie Izzard came out of nowhere.
The annoying son.
the really annoying kind of son who just wants he wants to overthrow his mother and
waiting for her to die essentially.
Yeah, but it's weird because he's a comedy actor and he's a stand-up comedian and he's come out and he's gone, I want to be serious for a minute.
It's good to mix it up every now and again.
And it is good to mix it up, and I thought that was really good. I thought the court were very good. You're right, it's funny, it's a little silly in certain places. I love it when I think my favourite bit was where they're doing like a toast and they're like, to the Queen, and she goes, to me.
Yeah, it's like, you can tell she's just like, she is near the end of her life at this point. She's a bit senile as well, isn't she? She's like very, she doesn't care about
she's
people.
horrifically depressed because Albert died. And then there's another story about her and Mr. Brown, which is the film that she did before.
I mean, one thing I did like about it is like when he reveals that he's got a wife, she's like, what?
Pretty devastated.
You'd think she'd be like, oh, go away. But she's like, no, you got to bring her here.
Yeah, she's like, bring your whole family here.
Bring your whole family here.
Like, why haven't you got children? Make children with this woman.
So it's like, you should, I mean, is that true? Is it not? I don't know. But from that scene, because I thought when she finds out, you think, okay, where is this going? Like,
yeah, I was like,
okay, this
for a minute, I was like, oh, what is happening here?
This could get a bit weird. But then when she says, oh, bring her here, I want to see your family. Then I'm like, oh, okay, thankfully they played it off quite well.
I thought it was really good, and people were obviously asking the questions to the director, like, were you afraid of doing this film because of the attitude that's around at the moment? And he was like, no.
Film is supposed to provoke.
It's supposed to provoke people. It's supposed to make you ask the questions, and it's like, have we really not moved on from the early 1900s in that way of thinking?
Yeah.
And it does provoke a bit of thought, but then it does have the silly bits in it, and quite emotional.
A shout out to what's his friend's name?
Mohammed, yeah.
Man, he was
great.
He was a massive bro. He was a bro till the end, man.
Yeah.
You need more bros like that guy.
Exactly. He stuck around.
He stuck around.
He had his back.
He did not have to. He could have sold that for riches and royalty.
He could have, yeah.
Nah, I got my bro, man.
And it only took 10 weeks to film it.
Really? Mm-hmm. Well, I suppose it's literally just filming in a courtyard, filming in a palace.
Courtyards, palaces, bit of Scotland.
Yeah, was it Balmoral Lake or something?
Balmoral Castle grounds and stuff.
Very nicely put together.
Yeah, I thought it was a great mix of kind of a bit of humour, a bit of emotion.
I think that's why my review was a charming watch. It's just, it's fun, it's cheerful, it's charming. You won't offend you. If you're offended by that, you're like, okay, you're like way too seriously.
Exactly.
If you're getting offended. And there are worse things to get offended by then.
Exactly, and I thought it was caring, funny, and true, and because it was sort of unapologetically true.
Yeah,
and it didn't pull any punches.
Attitude tattoos that they did have back then.
Yeah, I mean, I did ask the question, you know, were any of the actors kind of uncomfortable about the language that they were using? And he was like, no, they're all very liberal people. They understand what they're doing and
what it's representing.
What it represents, exactly. And they just got on with it, and they were very professional about the whole thing, which is always really good.
Right, so that's that review after like a month.
Yeah, so we finally got that one in. And now we're going to move on to our sort of September roundup. I mean, we would have done this last week, but just a quick roundup of what we thought was the best and worst things. So what would you say you liked about this month?
Oh, last month. I think the biggest film last month, It, clearly was the show. I think that was the film of the month by far.
Yeah. I think it's, I mean, to say that, because you said that it wasn't very scary. You didn't really think it was
I didn't see it as a scary movie, but I still liked it. I didn't. I don't think because, you know, it's like I said, horror is subjective, you know. So just because I didn't find it totally scary, doesn't mean I didn't enjoy the film. I think the film's storyline was put together great. The twist, the journey of the kids, everything among that was great. I mean, there are bits of jump scares, but I didn't really find it too scary. Yeah,
it's more of it messes with your mind.
It messes with your mind, and if you kind of like don't like clowns and all that stuff, you definitely find it a lot more. You know, like I said, I'm scared of creepy dolls.
So for you, if you came across Pennywise, he would turn into a creepy doll.
A creepy doll and just stare. Wouldn't even move. Yeah. Except if we started dancing like that, I'd be even more scared.
Oh God, the
Gangnam Style dance.
Whatever that was. I mean, that just creeped me out, because if anyone actually did that, I'd be like, wow.
The film's really like got its sequel or like commission. Like
the chapter 2 kind of thing, yeah.
So it's deserved that, and I think it's done really well, and that was by far probably the best. I don't know. Anything like what other films stood out for you?
I think like personally nothing.
There wasn't. I mean, not.
It wasn't. There wasn't like a massive standout one for me.
I mean, then again, it's September isn't a blockbuster.
September, no. So I loved it, and I'd probably go with Victoria and Abdul, because it was like at the beginning of the month, and I absolutely loved it when I came out.
Yeah. I suppose the Q&A, going to the screenings.
It was a nice experience for me. I did like Kingsman. I really did. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, but I don't think it's good enough to merit.
I wouldn't say it was better than Victoria and Abdul. I'd say it was ridiculous, and I enjoyed it because it's just
Kingsman is just a good laugh. It's fun, but it's just
like you don't take it
but when you look at it as a film, you're like, could have been better. Like, you know, like
it was just a bit much.
Yeah, I've got Wind River down. So that starred what's Hawkeye's name? I forgot his name.
Jeremy Renner. And Elizabeth Olsen.
And Scarlet Witch, Elizabeth
Olsen.
Scarlet Witch. Basically, Scarlet Witch and Hawkeye go silver.
Why can't you leave Marvel alone, man? They've ruined everything.
But yeah, so this is like a film like totally out of what you see them in the mainstream. So it follows Jeremy Renner as a sheriff out in where is it? Wyoming. So it's set on the Indian estates over there. So he's a sheriff that overlooks. Native American estates. So especially the estates, they're like got areas like assigned where it's like the major rule is Native American like law of the American government. So he's overlooks this area, and there's a murder, and Elizabeth Olsen stars like she's like a rookie FBI agent. Yeah. Cliched, I know. Who comes in and has to solve it. But this film, I love it because it's so visceral and raw. Because it's in the middle of nowhere. The whole film, it's just snow, wind, punishing harsh conditions. Yeah. And Renner is very, very like emotional. He's putting everything in place. You can tell there's a lot, because you used to see him in like jokey roles, one-liners, posing. Whereas this, he's just he's a dad who suffered the loss of a daughter, and he's seen another daughter of his close friend get murdered as well. So there's a lot on his shoulder.
So it's very, very deep.
It's totally like it's not what you used to seeing him in normally. It's quite a low-key film. It's like it will take place like one area. Yeah. And just follows it to him and her going out.
Yeah, I was really up for watching that one. I need to go back and there's a couple of films.
I'm pretty sure The Snowman's going to have a similar vibe, like a murder case out in the...
Yeah, I definitely want to watch The Snowman.
Though one thing about Wind River, it does get surprisingly violent at the end. It's like it becomes like blood, guns everywhere. I'm like, okay.
I'm completely happy with that. So
but it just came out of left field. The entire movie is very like somber. And suddenly shoot out. Yeah. Like, okay, fair enough. But yeah, that was one of the highs.
Yeah. So now let's go with the lows.
Flatliners.
Flatliners would be one of them. Yeah. I went straight for Mother. Oh. But
Mother, it's provocative.
It's provocative. The thing is, like, I can't put Mother as one of the worst films purely because I didn't get it. Like it just didn't.
Also, give it reps for trying something. Like, you know, I mean,
exactly.
Same old.
That's why I've kind of put it in the middle. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I just didn't.
It's controversial.
It's controversial. I just don't get the biblical thing. So you know that didn't.
And some of the reviews have been scathing, like worst film of the decade. It's not.
See, I wouldn't go with that. I think it's literally because of that really messed up scene at the end.
It's clickbait.
The Act 3 is just total mess.
Bonkers.
Like absolute. Just I don't want to swear.
I
can't. But I can't call it a bad movie, because when you actually do go back and look at what Darren Aronofsky wanted to do and what he was looking at doing,
and what people talking
exactly, and the allegories that he was looking at, and the all the metaphors and representations and all that kind of stuff. When you go back and you look at it, you start to understand the movie. And I'll probably go back again and watch it in a few years and go.
It's a change of role for Jennifer Lawrence as well.
It's different for her. I mean, Javier Bardem was great as well. He was, and
always is.
Always is. I mean, look at No Country for Old Men. He was fantastic in that. So I wouldn't go with that, but what I would go with is Death Note.
Oh my days.
Death Note is another.
I kind of forgot, because it's on Netflix. It kind of got released at some point.
Yeah, but I think we got it sort of September.
Is it? Yeah. We'll
maybe like
for the sake of
end of August, beginning of September. But I mean, Death Note, Flatliners, they both bombed.
I'll put Flatliners above Death Note. I'll say it. I'll give.
Well, you thought Flatliners was better than Death Note?
Death Note. At least Flatliners didn't totally ruin the source
material.
material.
Can we do the puns now? Can we do Death Note is just Dead Note, and Flatliners is flatlined?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jeez. Shockers. Two shockers. But you know,
shocking puns for shocking movies. There you go.
This month has been a bit quiet.
October's looking pretty good.
Yeah,
we've got Thor. Yeah. So you get to talk about Marvel even more.
Yeah. And you got. I'm waiting for the Snowman.
The Snowman looks really good. I want to see The Mountain Between Us. I heard an interview with Kate Winslet on the weekend.
I got a story about that also. When I was on the flight back from Athens, I got Empire magazine. I thought I need to kill some time.
Yeah.
Open up the first page. Guess what I see? It's a plane crash. And The Mountain Between Us. I'm like.
On a plane.
On a plane.
That's what you want to see.
I put a picture and I tagged Empire magazine in it, but they didn't reply back.
How rude.
I'm like, yo, Empire, you scared the hell out of me. First page. Oh, you're gonna die in a mountain. Oh, thanks, guys.
So yeah, we got Thor, Mountain Between Us, the Ritual as well, and the Snowman too.
The Ritual looks good as well.
The Ritual looks good. I'm going to be seeing that next week.
That and Snowman come out next week at the same time, so I think that'll be probably next week's episode.
That'll be interesting. Though I think I'm seeing Ritual on the Sunday. So anyway, and then Geostorm, which
oh god, that's hilarious. I can just tell. Gerard Butler saves like the weather and the world storm. Yeah, okay.
It's
great.
Yeah.
It looks mental in a bad way.
In a horrific way. So I think that ends our episode for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be putting everything up on YouTube as normal, and we'll be getting out more blog posts and stuff.
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe to all the Facebooks and YouTubes and
almost
Twitters.
on 1,000 followers on Twitter.
Yes.
It's been it's been on 970 for a while now. It's annoying.
Help us get to 1,000 followers.
Then we can just shut it down.
And then we're done now.
Right.
Have a good weekend.